Hello everyone, I'm Thomas Bidwell. Sorry to interrupt your normal local news programming, but I am here to tell you some important information on Onondaga Lake. Your current tax dollars are being spent on the cleanup of Onondaga Lake, but is it worth it? Onondaga Lake has had years and years of pollution. Will these tax dollars be well spent on cleaning up the lake to maybe create potential beaches or potential drinking water for Central New York? Are those tax dollars worth it? Imagine it. There's Lake Superior, Lake Michigan, Lake Huron, Lake Erie, and Lake Ontario. What if Onondaga Lake became a sixth one of those Great Lakes? It's totally possible with the help of our US tax dollars. Clear water, fresh drinking water, white sandy beaches, people swimming in a lake, people fishing in the lake and being able to eat the fish that they caught. Tourist attractions for many people to come and be by Onondaga Lake. People building camps and many more things would be possible if we used our tax dollars to pay for Onondaga Lake's cleanup. A lot of my information has come from Charles D. Driscoll. Charles D. Driscoll is a professor at Syracuse University, and his main interest and focus was in environmental chemistry. He has done tons and tons of research on Onondaga Lake, which that research has taken years because the pollution has started centuries ago. All right, let's start with some facts about Onondaga Lake before we get started. The lake, which has been polluted for years and years, is extremely large. The lake is approximately 2,944 acres, and the maximum depth is 62 feet. That is a really large lake. The lake is also populated by tons and tons of fish, as you can see right here. The pollution begins dating back to the year 1921. According to the Cornell Cooperative Extension, they concurred that the Honeywell Corporation began the majority of the pollution by bringing in a process of chlorine that created utilized mercury cells, which began the formation of algae that was mainly formed by mercury. Mercury, along with the other pollutants, is still existing in this lake today and has made it so that we cannot drink the water from the lake and we cannot eat the fish that swim in the lake. But cleanup efforts have began as early as 1996 to get rid of as much mercury and pollutants in the lake. According to Syracuse.com, in January of 2019, 22% of respondents agreed that the lake was safe to swim. 22% has gone up to 32% as of the year 2021. The Department of Environmental Health Conservation indicated that no areas in the northern basin of Onondaga Lake exhibited unacceptable risks to adults or children potentially exposed to sediment by walking or wading into the lake. In 2004, the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation announced that $449 million were being put into the cleanup of Onondaga Lake. They have found that a ton of success was used by this money. They were able to have the mercury levels go down and were able to create the product of zooplankton. This is a major component of a fish diet. There has clearly been a ton of pollution put into Onondaga Lake, but with the help of tax dollars, it has been getting cleaned up slowly but surely every single year. I believe that we should keep spending our tax dollars on the cleanup of Onondaga Lake because of the economic gain that it could add to Central New York. The gains include more fresh drinking water, which means that there is less pressure on Skaneateles Lake, which is the current source of drinking water for Central New York. So we could have more drinking water from Onondaga Lake. We also can have people swimming in the lake. We can also have people fishing in the lake, which is a huge tourist attraction for the lake. And it's so unfortunate that we aren't able to use it as we are. There has been, of course, different things that have been added to the lake, like the Lakeview Amphitheater and Onondaga Parkway that is in Liverpool, but there could be even more things. So I believe that the economic gain of having Onondaga Lake become less polluted is a major factor in spending tax dollars. Thank you so much for listening to this important message. Now, back to your local news broadcasting.